Okay. Uh, okay, hello. I know pretty much everyone who's ever played this game has done something to that effect. But we're on our way back up to periscope depth. They didn't kill us. We managed to slip away, but it was all very boring, so I didn't bother to record it. But for now, we're going to secure from silent running. And we're going to start loading up our torpedoes, because I've decided we're going to stay at sea a while longer. And see if we can stir up some more fun things to happen. But we're just going to take a quick sneaky peeky at periscope depth first. And I said secure from silent running. Oh, there we go. Okay. Periscope depth, and just use heavy time compression because I can't be asked. Sorry if I'm a bit enthusiastic, but I'm happy because we spent a while being all cooped up in the boat because we were being hunted by 2 destroyers, as it turned out. So, surface. Auftauchen. All that stuff. Okie dokie. So my plan is we are going to go back out into the North Atlantic, and I'm actually going to have a quick look at our convoy routes map. Because, well, looking for where we might find a number of convoys, and I'm thinking that this point here, like right on the north end of Ireland, right here might be nice, but I just want to be far enough out that we're in deep waters. So that sort of curves down. Thinking about here is where we're gonna go and see if we can find ourselves any big fat juicy convoys, and just generally remain in at least a little bit deep waters. Like here would be alright, maybe even here, but I don't want to go back into the shallows that we are in now, because it took a really long time to get away from that destroyer. So until we get there, I'm just gonna load up torpedoes and make sure everything's going well. So until then, I highly recommend you have a cup of tea. I certainly will. I'm just going to have a little drink now, in fact. Delicious apple cinnamon tea. I'll see you then. Fascinating. It would appear that we have received a radio message, but that's not where we read them. That's not where we... Okay, I'm having a sudden amnesia. Don't know where we read radio messages. I'm sorry, I'm being a complete dunce. There we go. 2214, radio message. Alright, sunk merchant, 2 auxiliary cruisers, 35,414 tons, 3 internal torpedoes remaining, bombed, blah blah blah, no significant damage. Alright, it is dark and ugly, which gives us an excellent opportunity to escape these waters. Oh, here's an interesting one. Roosevelt has been re-elected President of the United States. In, let's see, what day is it? November 5th, 1940. Hey, we've actually managed to catch up, because the day I'm recording this is November 5th. Well, good to know. So I'm having slight concerns about the visibility up here, but I don't think it's quite as bad as it looks, so we're going to stick around for the time being. Ah, we have a ship contact, which I'm slightly interested in pursuing. It seems a little bit far away, but I don't know. I'm not gonna let that stop me. So medium speed, I'd put it around 8 knots probably. So if we move at best, if we move at best possible speed, we can certainly head it off. Let's see. So on the assumption that it's going 8 knots, it will have gone that distance of 116 miles. Alright. It seems a little far away, but I think we will pursue. But we will have to make a pretty good speed to get there in time, but I think we can pull it off. Alright, I'm thinking they must have changed course because we've searched the area and it's nowhere to be found, so not sure what to do about that. Let's head back up towards Rockelbank and set up a little patrol area up there. Actually want to have another look at the convoy map because a lot of them do come by there, and we would be in a reasonably ideal position. Although I'm going to move our search pattern a little bit further to the south because it seems like the majority of them will pass a bit further south than we're looking for them. So, no fancy search patterns here, just wonky looking ones. Aha! Here's the thing, a convoy heading east at 4 knots. 4 knots. It's going so slow we can catch it. I'm assuming reasonably due east. So let's lay in a course to see if we can go get it. We'll need to make so at 4 knots. Wait a minute. What's our time to end of course? Navigator. Time to last waypoint. 12 hours. So at their speed, that's a weird one. Oh no, it's this one I want to look at. That makes sense. That's why I was so puzzled when I looked at it earlier. So 4 knots in, let's say 10 hours, they can go 74. So if we get this far ahead of them, we should be in a good position. Oh, but that's time to end at current speed. We need to run at a much higher speed if we want to catch them. So let's just run up to that speed and then get a new estimate of time to end of course. 7 hours. Okay. That's the one. Okay, 4 knots, 7. So we're looking at, it's going to be at around, like, it's going to have gone about 53. So we will anticipate that. Be gone with you. That means we can just head straight south and go get it. Well, I'm afraid I bear bad news. I have not been able to find it as of yet along our projected course, so I'm afraid we're just going to have to deal with that. And look for other places to hunt. Actually burned up a lot of fuel in that pursuit. But we do have a single ship route from the north of, well, from Scotland up to Iceland, so I think we might go have a look. It'll be near the, okay, so the boundary of AE, that looks like a good spot. There are some slightly shallow waters, but if we're going after single ships, we shouldn't need to worry about that too much. Yeah. Sometimes I'm all artsy-fartsy about the search pattern. Sometimes I'm really just not. Oh, good. U-43 is leaking. And turning back. Well, that's a tasty nugget of information. Oh, well, isn't this lovely? None of that fog we were having to put up with before. This is the ultimate. Except for the fact that we can be seen just as well as we can see our enemies, so we'll have to be slightly careful in that department, but I think we're okay. Here we have some news of genuine importance. British carrier-based aircraft, swordfish, have attacked the Italian fleet at Taranto. 3 battleships have been sunk. This was a rather significant event in the proof of worth for the aircraft carrier and the aircraft based from them. and indeed was the subject of much skepticism about just how safe your supposedly invincible battleships are. So that's a fun thing. Alright, so we've patrolled this area for quite a long time, and I think for now I'm just going to plot a fairly wide course to take us home, and we can just hope that we'll encounter something on the way back. Because I would really like to have something interesting transpire to end off patrol, because we still have torpedoes left and about 40% of our fuel, which is one of my bigger concerns. But, yeah, we'll see. In the latest news, a Luftwaffe raid has devastated Coventry. No real context for that. Probably a night raid, though, because the Luftwaffe gave up daylight bombing 14 days ago. Essentially, daylight bombing of England anyway, for the most part. Here's an interesting tidbit. The information's a little bit old, but we have a convoy heading north at 4 knots, and now, according to my handy-dandy map, these northward... Oh, well, that's a bit thick. AE... running... We better move fast, because they change course about here. My concern is fuel state, but we actually have a decent amount left for the time being, so we're gonna go after this convoy. Oh well, isn't that interesting? Maybe they did change course and that's actually what we're seeing. Oh! Yeah, looks like it. But the question is, which way are they
Schiff gesichtet.
Convoy heading northeast. Oh, that's perfect. That means that we can just run in this direction, in theory. But we're gonna dive, because if we can see them, they'll be able to see us quite shortly. We're going to reduce speed so that we don't make too much noise. But the conditions are reasonably ideal. The sun is setting, so we'll be able to attack in the reasonably dark. Let's make sure we have eels up and ready to go. And also we're gonna run silent. So as not to make any unnecessary noise. We have some crew in the torpedo room. Everything. Everything's ready for a glorious evening. How much fuel did we burn? Entirely too much. Okay. We still have enough to get home. We're not that far from base. But this will definitely be our last attack at the patrol, because we only have 4 torpedoes left, but we'll try and use them all. Side bid. Yeah. Concern is we might not be in a very good position. We might not have been able to get far enough ahead of the convoy. It really depends how... They said it said it was heading northeast, so it depends how north and how east that means. So let's see if we can... Maybe. Part of me wants to risk increasing speed, but let's see. Contact. Flachter. I am so very fascinated by the types of ships it would appear we shall be able to sink our teeth into here, but too far. But what we can do about this is, we're assuming their course is something like that, we can run alongside it, kind of, until it gets dark. We'll see how that works. I don't think we're going to be able to move. Not enough. Oh, crap! Not enough crew. Perhaps in the electrics. Nikes. Supposedly the convoy was only doing 4 knots, so we might be able to stay ahead of it. By my crafty means. Oh, but it looks like the escorts are after us. Maybe. The ships are maneuvering, but that destroyer isn't going the right way. Ooh. Alright, we need to turn and attack now. Otherwise, we're never gonna have the chance. Alright, we'll just wait until we've turned into position, and then we're gonna fire and get down deep. I don't know if we're gonna be able to actually hit anything, because they're a bit far away. Ooh. That, I know exactly what you are. Mm-hmm. You are a large merchant. Yeah, large merchant. Yep. That's just grand. Okay. Identified it. Let's range them out. Actually, no, that was more like that. AOB, we're looking at about 76, sure. And speed, we know is 4 knots, but we'll speed them out anyway briefly. We'll give them 15 seconds. 7. Actually, I'm slightly inclined to buy that, but I'm going to... You know what? Yeah, I'll believe that, because I think we've been detected, and that's why it looks like the ships are maneuvering, so I wouldn't put it past them to have sped up. But I know there's another one directly astern of it, so we are going to identify it likewise and range it. And actually, we're going to shoot at it first. Actually, no, that's the right one for a 75 AOB. I need to be really careful. Let's get all of our eels set up. We're just going to do impacts because they're type 1s. Sea is reasonably calm, so I'm not worried about them breaking the surface too bad, about them breaching and exploding, but I'll set them a little deeper just in case. And we're going to fire off 2 at this one. But because I'm not particularly confident in the speed reading, we're going to do one like that, and one like that. And then we're going to come back to this one and set its AOB correctly to about 83, why not? And very quickly rearrange and open tube and los, and also aim another one a little bit back. Then we are going to turn away from the convoy and go deep. And we do have deep water here, so we can do that. And oh, poop on toast. Those are, unless that's the. Where's our first salvo? Oh, something went horribly wrong there, because neither of those are anywhere near being on target. Oh. Well, hopefully we can just hit something with them. I'm just gonna follow these on the surface because they're leaving their fun little trail of bubbles. These aren't gonna hit anything in the first column, but we can always be hopeful for the second, unless they run out of propulsion, which is a very real possibility because we're running them at such high speed. That's not good. Not particularly confident that those are actually going to hit him. The other ones would have run a little bit astern somewhere. I see, but oh. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see that, because that is just a trifle embarrassing. Oh, speaking of a trifle embarrassing, jeez Louise. Yeah, these are just gonna zilch right through the whole convoy and not hit a single bloody thing. Yeah, and then just drop away. What's our position? Deep and not coming back. To put it bluntly, yeah, because there's a destroyer coming after us. I'm afraid we're just going to have to call that a waste of 4 torpedoes and a failed attack utterly. So we're just going to plot a course out of here and try and stay quiet. Because we're fairly deep, we shouldn't be too detectable. In fact, I'm going to go a little deeper. But I'll let you know if we get really seriously depth charged. So I think I know what went wrong with our torpedoes. I think I had to push this checky thing here to actually update these. So we just shot on the gyro angle that the periscope happened to be pointing. And that's probably why we've missed everything since OLC stopped working. So that's a bucket of fun. Alright, so we managed to get away, and we weren't really even depth charged, so we're going to head home. That really just proves the validity of having deep water available at this point in the war, because you can just go deep enough that they won't be able to find you very effectively, so. We have spotted a ship, supposedly bearing 350. There you are. Alright, we'll pursue, see what it is. Looks like a small freighter of some kind. But you never know. We have really heavy seas, as a matter of fact. Let's put that scope down. 'Cause it looks kinda silly sticking out of there. But I should be more hesitant to run at flank speed, although we are not very far from France. We have tons of fuel for the trip we still have ahead of us, so. Sorry, I leaned a little close to the mic there. Sorry if I seem a little bit completely detached and unenthused. It's a bit eveningly and a bit tired. That's looking really good. If we can catch it. Oh yeah, that's a engine aft, like one of the small freighters. In any case, if we do attack it, if it's an enemy ship, we will attack it, but we're gonna go after it with a deck gun, I think. Yeah, I'm thinking that's British. It has a red flag of some sorts. Alright, I think we're close enough now. Alright, oh, but can we use the deck gun? Okay, let's see if we can get close enough to torpedo it even though it knows we're here. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. Because we have one tube in the front. That's still not loaded. Okay, we'll use the rear tube. But we need to get a lot closer first. Definitely not armed because it hasn't shot at us yet. But it is definitely British. And it is definitely extremely close. So we're going to turn and... oh my god. Why did I let myself get so close? That is really close. We're really pitching and rolling in the sea here. I'm actually going to do this from the periscope. Because it has that homey touch of being inside. I might actually just set a specific gyro angle and shoot right on that gyro angle. Yeah. Speed 0, AOB 0, and directly astern gyro angle, and I'll just fire on my bearing. Okay. Los! This has no right to work. But if it does, I'll be Just happy. It's not gonna arm itself, is it? It's not. I just know it. Yep, bounced right off. Why didn't I get further away? You know what? We tried. So I'm just going to show it our black the whole way back. Yeah, navigator, return to course. As much as it is painful for me to do that. We'll go back past them and go all bye-bye. Well, Hungary and Romania have joined the Axis. Isn't that lovely? We're on our way home. I don't think anything's going to stop us now, except a lack of crew in the diesel compartment and the fact that we're still on silent running for some reason. Diesels. Don't I have any machinists? Yep. They're all snoozing and oozing. Oh. Didn't need that. Actually, I'm going to switch out this guy so that everyone can rest and enjoy themselves. Twiddle their thumbs and play cards as we proceed home. Oh, another radio message. Isn't that just joyous? 4 ships hit, blah 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 blah, sunk. Well, hello there, Mr. Schnellboot. We are home once again, and we're actually going to go into the bit where they have the band to play us in, because we always leave through the pens and they're always still playing their 2D instrument horns over here. So we are going to actually, we're not going to bother to park the boat. We're just going to end the patrol here. We have 43 healthy crew. So we sunk 2 ships, which is kind of disappointing. This has been a really crappy patrol. 339 renown, but somehow we managed to keep 100% hull integrity. I guess we only ever incurred a little bit of damage. Medals for the crew and everything. And speaking of the crew, if you would like to have a member of the crew named after yourself or any amusing name of your choice, certainly let me know, because I can rename them through Silent Hunter 3 Commander, just like Effing Controller did, because he's playing Silent Hunter 5 and he can't do that, so someone has to carry it on, that glorious tradition. So it is November 22nd, 1940. Because we don't have any damage, we're probably not going to be in port for very long, but we'll see what happens next time. Is there anything particularly interesting in the way of boat upgrades? Not really. I'm hesitant to install this hydrophone because of its extreme vulnerability to damage from depth charges. But, yeah, what kind of medals do we have? Oh, we have 6 U-boat war badges, so I'll give those out because it's not particularly interesting to watch. And until next time, I've been Mr. 66D playing Silent Hunter 3. Toodaloo!